You don't know how powerful lawyers are until you run into trouble. And the scam in America is very formal. There's a contract to end, right? So by the time they deal with you, you can't even complain because you're in a contract. So if you literally signed it. You literally signed it, right? So
What's up, Underground Plus? Welcome to another episode of Next Founders. My name is Michael Okunubi, and today we're with Dr. Stephen Akintayo. Thank you so much, sir, for always having us to your residence.
You're
Really
welcome.
appreciate you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, you already know Next Founders is the space for founders actively building. We share ideas, strategies, and build mentorship from those who have done it before. Make sure you join the conversation. This is for the next generation, and this is for you. All right, so the last episode, sir, we spoke about starting a business. We had some other amazing founders here with us, but today's this year now, which is cool. We spoke about positioning yourself for a market that really exists. Today, we're going to be talking about the next phase of that. Today's topic is going to be the ship has sailed. What's next? All right. So, sir, a founder has successfully launched a relevant product into the market. It's receiving some form of vibration. They're making some sales. The business is running on its own. Let's say they're also not even putting so much time and attention into the business at this point, right? They have some time to do other things. What's the next thing for them, sir?
I think the next thing is what's the market interested in. Sometimes we are quite emotional about business. So, like you said, maybe the founder has other things he or she is doing. Let's say he or she has two, three other businesses. The question is, of all these businesses, which one is the consumer more interested in? Which one is the consumer more excited about? I'll give you an example. Most people do not know that Elon Musk started, was working on SpaceX before Tesla. But Tesla went on IPO before SpaceX, right? Tesla became $1 trillion company before SpaceX. So the question is, why? In fact, it was almost like a distraction at the point they were pulling him to invest in SpaceX because I watched documentary of the two founders when they approached Elon. All right, so many times we are imagine he was that emotional about SpaceX and didn't go for Tesla. Most of us knew Elon because of Tesla, not because of SpaceX. It's later on now that we're now knowing him for SpaceX. Because you can have the best idea but at the wrong time, right? And so you have to ask yourself the timing, the customer, what do they want, right? And there is always that season where you're not too sure which one do you really go for. What I will always say is that let the customer tell you what. Don't be emotional about it. Which of the business are the customer popularizing? Which one is more profitable? Which one are they engaged? Which one are you think that to put in more resources and attention may give you more money? Compared to which one do you like? Because sometimes it's very we just like some things that it's kind of what we enjoy more, but may not be what is the best burst.
So you feel like it's time to streamline and focus on the business, right?
Yeah, but let it be the one the customer wants.
And be the customer. Let the customers make the choice.
Yeah.
All right, man. When is it time to scale its size? Increase your workforce, run larger scales of advertisements, start getting the offices and all of the other good stuff.
Of the money. And that again, as a result of demand. Sometimes if you expand without the demand being there, you're going to be in deep, big trouble. You can overstructure your business. You can structure structure a business out of income, out of sales, right? You can rush the process of expansion, right? You can overstructure it and run it to bigger problems. And so I learned over time to be careful about that aspect of it. So don't rush the structure. Take your time and do what is right.
Then on the other side of that, maybe we could say the customers and the demand is what would prompt you to know when it's time to get the um, module workforce, the offices, and all this other stuff. But let's talk about like the legal, right? Um, from incorporating to forming an LLC, trademarks, patents, I mean, even retaining a lawyer, right? When, at what point of the business do you think about those things?
What point of a business do you think of retaining the lawyer?
Yes,
At the beginning.
at the beginning.
Yeah. Absolutely. It may not be retaining sure, but you need a lawyer from the law. Even if it's to consult them on drafts, contracts, documentation, and making sure they're handy for when you have any legal issues. But particularly America is it's a litigious country, right? You don't know how powerful lawyers are until you run into trouble. And the scam in America is very formal. There's a contract to it, right? So by the time they deal with you can't even complain because they're doing a contract. So you literally signed it. You literally signed it, right? So if you're dealing in a country like that, then you better have a lawyer for everything you do. You can even for some uncles, some aunties, some church lawyer, any way you could get it at a discounted price, right? Yeah.
So exploring like someone, let's explore someone who doesn't have like none of the connections. How does someone go about getting a lawyer?
Everybody has a connection. Everybody. There's some your friend whose father is a lawyer, somebody you went to school with. It's about looking for it. Sometimes we just don't look, right? And like I said, it's not like, oh, come and be my retainer. No, sir. I just want to mentor me so that whatever business I'm doing, I could get some advice from you legal wise. Are you willing to follow? I can't pay you now. I can serve, but you can always get people like that. And don't order them about things that don't matter. But as important things come along, we engage them and say, I've been looking into this. I just like, yeah, I mean, did I know you before now to do so? But you took advantage of it, so you can do the same.
I have
Okay.
So always check around, make sure you explore your options and don't limit yourself to who can help you. Ask around, ask your people.
Ask around, ask people, go online, check meetups that has to do with lawyers. Because I need to know that being young is an opportunity. How old are you now?
22.
It is gold because nobody wants to. There's that innocence, and when the people are meeting you, they're always young. I remember when I was 22. Come on, within a break, right? Let's help it, and you need to use that to your advantage. That by say, hey, I'm a 22-year old, hungry entrepreneur. It'll be opportunity to serve you and learn. It will be opportunity to be able to you know, guide, rely on your counsel or legal issues or whatever. You need to have, there are a couple of people you need an accountant, a CPA, a lawyer with on your corner, a business coach, who understands how to scale a business that you can go to time. Even what you and I were discussing before we started, it's part of it, right? You could have, for example, approached me all this while and I say, I have this event I'm doing, it's not getting resolved. What do you think I'm doing wrong? I can explain to you my processes. And I'm very sure 30 minutes you and I, that event will become profitable. Right.
Yeah, we're definitely doing it. It's good to happen.
Right. So, but it's also being willing to go that route. Sometimes subconsciously we don't even think of it. Right? We could have those people around our lives, but we just don't think. But our mind doesn't go there to say, let me go ask questions. I mean, there must be a way out, right?
All right. So talking about the lawyers and all the trademarks and patents, Is that also in the beginning of the business, or
If you can afford it, yes. If you can, just move on.
it's not
Just try and
important?
be number one. It's important. It's extremely important. It's there's a YouTube show. I don't know if this is true, but I heard of it. Called Lollipop. You know, that's a sing Pop the Balloon,
For the balloon, yeah.
right? So there's this. I think the song is the
But
Lollipop.
shout out to Nels Barrage. Yeah, shout out to Nels Barrage.
So there's a story that she started it. Okay. Oh, you don't know?
I don't know. Like I don't know where that thing started
There's
from.
a story that she started it,
Okay.
and there's a couple. I think whether they're
Yeah, I
based
know the
in the
couple.
US or that they're based in the UK,
Yeah.
and they went to patent the idea, and today they own the idea. From what I heard, again, I may be wrong, but that's what I heard.
No way.
Mhm.
So what does that mean for Nels Barrage? Like she can't.
I think she's rebranded something else. And that's the beautiful thing about an idea, as painful as that is, but that tells you, you know something, that you have $1 million idea. And you can go and retweak it and turn it into something big. And so I tell people this, don't be too hot when such happen. It just tells you that God has given you something unique. And you see, there's something about being original. And because to be honest, you can also say that those people didn't have a similar idea. I don't know that you understand. Do you see the point now? Yeah, you can't say they don't
They're
understand.
viral and they just added their own little. They just made it more mature.
That's my point. They definitely will have had something similar. Idea is in the air. If the first person to run with it, that is the owner of it. Right? So most times people also have the idea, and I just watch something somebody's doing and say, oh, if I add this to it, this could look good. Right? So if they go with that, tweak yours now, patent it, move on.
Right. So if you have enough money and you have the funds, make sure you
That tells you how important it is. But don't say I will never start an idea until I patent it. That's where people get it wrong. In fact, Elon Musk believed that only mediocre entrepreneurs patent their idea.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Why does he believe that?
Yeah, that's what it says. And the reason why Elon could say that is because Elon has the resources to be number one. You see, patent or no patent, forget about it. So if you really are already the number one, nobody can come up to you to say you should change it. Like, imagine he didn't, I'm not saying he didn't patent Tesla, but let's say he didn't do that. Can you come and say, oh, stop using the name Tesla? Like, how? Everybody knows Tesla has been doing. Yeah, all this while they've registered their company, they've registered their logo, they've been all over the running business, So usually it's being so ahead. And I think that's what Elon is saying about being so ahead that it's difficult for anybody to think they can catch up with you by just registering some patent or something like that. Right. And I think that's what he does more, right? Even with SpaceX, he's so ahead, so advanced that he's not asking you not to try and do Tesla battery. He's not asking you not to try and do his rockets, but you're at least 20 years behind on that technology. Even if you have the money to assemble the engineers and advance all of that to the level he's done it, it'll take you some time.
All right. Before we take it home, just want to give a quick shout out to the about people we had on the last time: Esther, Rihanna, Dapo, Ben. Make sure you go catch up on their videos so you know what we spoke about, so this episode can make more sense to you. Again, we spoke about positioning yourself for a real markets, validating the business, and reaching your clients. All right. So in the last episode, we slightly spoke about raising money in the market. And you said something that was so funny. You said, by the time it's time for you to raise money, you will be rejecting the money. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, I mean, basically, money doesn't, most times I realize that money doesn't follow those who desperately need it,
Mhm.
right? In fact, money follows those who don't need it in most cases. So I'll give you an example. Can SpaceX continue to run without the IPO?
Yeah.
But they got the money.
Can they actually?
Yeah, that's the answer. That's why I asked you
I mean,
first.
can they?
Can SpaceX run without the IPO? They've lasted these years.
Okay.
The answer is yes, absolutely.
Yes, they're gonna have to take that some loads or something.
It doesn't matter, but the business can keep running without an IPO. That's the truth. It could continue to run without the IPO, right? But it's those kind of people that get the money. You saw how everybody felt 1.7 trillion was ridiculous. They went even as far as over 2 trillion, right, to valuation. For business that was, they only did $18 billion right now. So it tells you that the time you really get money is the time you don't invest. Right. I knew when Dangote was building a refinery, at some point there were a lot of cash issues for him because the initial budget versus inflation variation on the construction, and it was quite tough for him. But right now the refinery is completed. They started selling crude. Now all the lenders are after him to give him more money.
So they just
Which is right now he's trying to go to East Africa. See what I'm saying? So money has a way of coming to you. So you want to structure in a way that you can survive without the money, but you need the money to scale at a much, much higher level. And it's when you demonstrate to the market that I can see keep going at this pace, that are your money. And the market said, no, no, we want to go faster. We'll give you our money, right? But if you give the market the perception of, oh, if you don't give me this money, this business is dead, and let it die. Well, I'll give you no money. Because right, great entrepreneur, you never know when they're broke. You will never know, right? Because if you give the perception like, oh, we're broke, and everybody's running away from it. Everybody's like, oh, don't touch them. But hey, when he broke, and the next right now, don't touch them, right? But when they can see that you can keep going, then everybody say, okay, yeah, yeah, I want to business business.
just position yourself right, and the money will follow you. So the last question will be: is there anything? Is there such thing like if it's working fine, don't touch it in business, or you have to constantly keep evolving?
Well, my mentor says only a fool throws away his winning ticket, right? Only a fool throws away his begging ticket. So if it's working right, you know, we throw it away the excess. There is a way to even make it work better and explore it, but you need to have an R&D department that kind of will explore it at a smaller scale.
That risk.
No, no, research and develop.
Oh, such a thing.
Right. So they can try it at a smaller scale. They could try it as a subsidiary. They could try it as a spin-off product, but you don't want to touch what is already really working. When this demonstrate that it can scale up, and we can then find a margin or something. I'll give a practical example. Facebook bought Instagram. Why didn't they merge them? Because it already has its own way. They bought WhatsApp. Why didn't they merge them? But they figure out a way that it becomes an ecosystem, such that you can move from Facebook to Instagram to WhatsApp now. So, but not to say we're collapsing the two together.
So I'm really grateful for your kind words. Thank you for allowing us to share this in your world. This is the next Founders Behind the Ground Plus. Make sure you subscribe. We'll love to have you on the show as well. Thank you. I remain your humble host, Michael Adesro Okunubi. Thank you, Dr. Stephen Akintayo.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.